I'll give the sun and the stars forever.
The 1970s are remembered as the decade when rock ruled the world. It was the age of Zeppelin's thunder, Pink Floyd's grandeur, and Queen's spectacle. But here's the thing. Beneath the stadium lights and platinum records was another story. Across garages, small clubs, and obscure European studios, hundreds of bands were forging new sounds, raw, experimental, and often too daring for mainstream ears. They pressed a handful of records, played a few fiery shows, then vanished into obscurity. But their echoes didn't fade. From heavy metal to stoner rock, from prog to punk, many of these so-called forgotten bands shaped the DNA of rock as we know it. This is the story of 15 hidden treasures from the 1970s you probably don't know about, but absolutely should.
Don't be afraid.
From Fort Worth, Texas came Bloodrock, a band willing to take rock into darker places. Their 1970 release Bloodrock too shocked listeners with the track DOA, a harrowing song about a fatal car crash, told from the perspective of the dying victim.
Don't be afraid.
Terry Knight, also manager of Grand Funk Railroad, produced the album. He captured a gritty heaviness that foreshadowed both doom metal and horror rock. Though critics dismissed the band as morbid, teenagers across America swapped the record like contraband.
Don't be afraid.
Bloodrock 2 is a time capsule of how the early 70s flirted with the macabre. London's high tide fused the weight of heavy guitar with the eerie edge of an electric violin. Recorded in 1969, but circulating heavily into the early 70s, Sea Shanties is unlike anything else from the era. Simon House's violin screeches against Tony Hill's distorted guitar, producing a sound critics called apocalyptic. At the time, the record tanked commercially. But decades later, musicians recognized it as an early blueprint for doom, prog, and even goth aesthetics. House would later join Hawkwind, carrying that experimental spirit into the space rock movement. If Black Sabbath defined heavy riffs, Budgie proved a trio could be just as devastating. From Cardiff, Wales, Budgie released In for the Kill. In 1974, a relentless album featuring the crushing title track and the quirky crash course in brain surgery. Frontman Burke Shelley wielded his bass like a lead guitar, a technique that would inspire generations of metal musicians. While Budgie never achieved commercial glory, their songs lived on, covered by Metallica and Iron Maiden, who credited Budgie as unsung heroes of heavy rock. In Zurich, Switzerland, Toad unleashed a debut that still feels volcanic. Produced by Deep Purple engineer Martin Birch, Toad, 1971, was a thunderous collision of blues, psychedelia, and proto-metal. Tracks like Cottonwood Hill had fuzzed-out riffs, so heavy they made Cream sound tame. Though distribution was poor, and the band never cracked international markets, their LP became a collector's grail. Today, Toad stands as proof that Europe had its own heavy rock revolution outside the UK. Stray were barely out of their teens when they cut Suicide, an ambitious record that mixed blues, proto-metal, and psych. The title track, an 11-minute journey through despair and rebirth, was daring at a time when radio demanded short, catchy singles. The band's guitarist, Del Bromum, developed a cult following for his fiery leads. Though Stray never cracked the mainstream, they captured the restless energy of post-60s Britain, young, ambitious, and unafraid to challenge norms. Germany was buzzing with krautrock, bands like Can and New, redefining soundscapes. But Night Sun went heavier. Produced by Connie Plank, Mornin, 1972, fused Hammond organ fury with guitar-driven assault. The album opener Plastic Shotgun kicks like a sledgehammer, bridging Deep Purple-style hard rock with something much more aggressive. Though Night Sun vanished after just one album, their sound left fingerprints on later European metal acts.
With the turn or with the tide, I'll be on your side. You gotta think about it now.
Glasgow's Tear Gas was Scotland's best-kept secret. Their 1971 self-titled LP is packed with blues rock grit, proto-metal riffs, and prog arrangements.
With the turn or with the tide, I'll be on your side.
Soon after, they merged into the sensational Alex Harvey Band, known for theatrical performances and glam-tinged rock.
With the turn, you gotta think about it now. Be on your side. Turn or with the tide, I'll be.
But the Tear Gas record remains a raw document of Scotland's early contribution to hard rock's evolution. Recorded in a single day for Decca, Growers of Mushroom was all but ignored upon release. But decades later, it became one of the most expensive vinyl rarities in the world, fetching thousands on the collector's market. Kyuss, Monster Magnet, and even Queens of the Stone Age owe a nod to Leaf Hound's fuzz-drenched riffs. Philadelphia's Bang released their self-titled debut at just the right time, but on the wrong label. Often called America's Black Sabbath, Bang's apocalyptic themes and heavy grooves were mishandled by Capitol Records, leading to obscurity. But for fans who discovered them later, Bang were pioneers, laying the foundation for doom and stoner rock long before those genres had names. From Cleveland, Granicus blended Zeppelin-esque vocals with fiery guitar lines and epic arrangements. Their 1973 debut had the ambition of a band destined for arenas. But fate had other plans. The album received little promotion, and the band broke up shortly after. Still, crate diggers and underground rock historians hail Granicus as one of America's finest lost hard rock records. Brooklyn's Sir Lord Baltimore were so loud, so heavy, that a Cream magazine journalist coined the term heavy metal to describe them.
Now
Kingdom Come, 1970, was raw, reckless, and proto-punk in its intensity. The band's chaotic energy proved too much for mainstream tastes, but their influence on later metal and stoner bands is undeniable. A supergroup with members from Deep Purple, Iron Butterfly, and Johnny Winter's band, Captain Beyond delivered one of the tightest, most imaginative debuts of the 70s. Captain Beyond, 1972, is a cosmic journey. Songs like Dancing Madly Backwards fused complex time signatures with hard rock fury. Poor promotion kept them from mass success, but today they're cult icons for prog metal fans. Fronted by John Lawton, later of Uriah Heep, Lucifer's Friend mixed heavy riffs with jazz-influenced arrangements and eerie, apocalyptic lyrics. Their self-titled debut was released in Germany in 1970, and though it slipped under the radar, modern reappraisals hail it as one of the boldest, most adventurous heavy rock albums of the era. In New York, a trio called Dust was carving proto-metal before punk or metal had names. With Mark Bell on drums, later Marky Ramone of the Ramones, Dust's Heart Attack, 1972, fused ferocity with versatility. The track Pull Away / so many times moved seamlessly from acoustic delicacy to crushing distortion. Dust broke up too soon, but their fingerprints remain on both punk and metal's DNA.
You know, bro, there's just something special about the sound of a classic rock album on vinyl. It's how these albums were originally meant to be heard, the warmth, the crackle, and the ritual of dropping the needle on the record. It's an experience that digital just can't recreate. And if you've ever wanted to dive into that classic vinyl sound, but didn't know where to start, I've got you covered. I've been checking out this Victrola Bluetooth portable suitcase turntable. It's the perfect way to get into vinyl. You just pop it open, put on a masterpiece like Led Zeppelin's 4 or Pink Floyd's The Dark Side of the Moon, and let the needle drop on that legendary groove. The best part is, it's a suitcase design, so you can literally take your rock and roll vibes anywhere. You can move it from your bedroom to the living room, or even take it to a friend's place. And it even has Bluetooth, so you can stream music from your phone when you're not spinning records. It's the best of both worlds. This is a great starting point for any fan who wants to feel the foundation of rock lore in a whole new way. If you're interested in grabbing one for yourself, I've put a link to it in the description below. Clicking that link and buying one is an awesome way to support the channel and help us keep bringing you more deep dives into the music we all love. So go check it out, and let's get back to the countdown.
At number 1 is perhaps the most tragic story. Formed by Keith Relf of the Yardbirds, Armageddon released their sole album in 1975. It combined prog ambition with doom-heavy riffing, a sound years ahead of its time. But Relf died just a year later from an electrical accident, ending the band before it began. Today, their lone record is seen as a lost masterpiece, an omen of where rock was headed, but never got to finish. The journey doesn't end here, Rock Warrior. Watch this next.